What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. Let me tell you guys something. As a Titans fan for most of the time that I've been an NFL fan, I gotta say that we have one of the most interesting fan bases in the league, to say the very least. It seems like anytime there is a big time quarterback on the market, it's just you get all these Titans fans saying, oh, we gotta go get him. We gotta do whatever we can to get him. It happened last year with Tom Brady. It happened almost a decade ago with Peyton Manning before he went to Denver. And now it's happening with Aaron Rodgers. Of course, if you guys haven't already heard, Aaron Rodgers has made it abundantly clear that he no longer wants to play for the Green Bay Packers, at least as long as general manager Brian Gutekunst is still there. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing my thoughts on that, as well as my thoughts on a potential trade for Falcons wide receiver Julio Jones. That's also been a hot topic of discussion in the Titans circles that I'm in, at least, especially Titans Twitter. But if you guys want to see more videos like this, as well as franchise and gaming content here on Cray Gaming, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the sub button if you're new as well, and turn your notifications on to join the notification gang. With that being said, let's get this mofo rolling. Let's get the easy part out of the way. Do I think Aaron Rodgers would be an upgrade over Ryan Tannehill? Yes. Do I think the Titans should trade Ryan Tannehill for Aaron Rodgers? Hell no. Granted, Aaron Rodgers had an amazing season last year. He had 48 touchdown passes and over 4,000 yards to just 5 interceptions. So yeah, he's definitely one of the most productive quarterbacks in the league still. He's definitely arguably the best quarterback in the league as well. So sure, having Aaron Rodgers on the Titans would be great, except for the fact that I don't think that he's that much of an upgrade over Ryan Tannehill. Yes, he is an upgrade, but does Aaron Rodgers make the Tennessee Titans a Super Bowl contender? Personally, I'm not so sure, but you can definitely make the argument that Rodgers coming to Tennessee would make them a Super Bowl contender. You can say what you want about him choking in the NFC Championship. You can say what you want about him not meeting expectations, this, that, and the third. But you could definitely make the argument that if Tennessee were to hypothetically trade for him, their chances of going to the Super Bowl would increase. That being said, would it increase enough for them to mortgage their entire future on that? One ESPN.com writer suggested that the Titans would have to trade their next 2 first-round picks, as well as Ryan Tannehill, for Aaron Rodgers and a 4th-round pick. I just don't believe that trading our 32-year-old quarterback that has put up pretty damn good stats and has been more than serviceable for this team, and trading your next 2 first-round picks would really be worth taking a risk on somebody who's 37 years old. Yes, I know Tom Brady's past 40 and he's still playing pretty damn well, and I know Rodgers is coming off a huge season as well. But that's still a huge risk to trade your next 2 first-round picks for a quarterback that is 37 years old and turns 38 next December and has been very publicly disgruntled with his current situation. With how well Ryan Tannehill's played over the past 2 seasons, I really just don't think the gap between Tannehill and Rodgers is big enough to justify trading the next 2 first-round picks. I also don't think that splitting up and dividing this locker room by trading one of its leaders is a very good idea either. And with all the reports about Aaron Rodgers not getting along with Mike McCarthy all those years, do you really think that Mike Vrabel's going to put up with that attitude? I don't think so. Either way, I think it's incredibly silly to even insinuate that the Titans should trade for Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that he's going to be that much of an upgrade over Ryan Tannehill at this point in his career. I think Tennessee should continue to build around Tannehill and continue to build that offense. And I'm sure Aaron Rodgers will find another spot to go. I'm not quite sure where he could go at this point. Maybe Denver. They didn't draft a quarterback in the 1st round. They did trade for Teddy Bridgewater, but Rodgers would be a huge upgrade over Teddy or Drew Lock. But I just don't think Tennessee is a good location for Rodgers to go, mainly from the Titans' perspective. Now let's talk about a rumor that actually seems a bit more realistic to me, and that's the rumor that Tennessee is in contention to trade for Falcons receiver Julio Jones. Now, I'm going to admit this because I don't want nobody hitting me with this you on Twitter, nothing like that. I've been very critical over the years of Julio Jones. I just hate this idea that people keep saying he's the best receiver in the league. I hear this, that, and the third. He is definitely one of the top 10 receivers still in the league, and he's been a top 10 receiver for a very long time. But I've said this, and a lot of Falcons fans, a lot of Alabama fans have gotten in their feelings about it. But I've never thought that he was the number one receiver in the league. That's my opinion. There's always been somebody who has been better than him. I think you could definitely make an argument for him being top 5, but it's like there's never been a time where I said Julio was the best receiver in the league. Because in my opinion, he hasn't. There have always been receivers who are better than him in any given season. You point out a year and I'll point out a receiver who was better than him. So now that we got that out of the way, with all that being said, would I be opposed to the Titans trading for him? Absolutely not. You look at all the guys that Tennessee lost in free agency as far as like being pass catchers. Corey Davis obviously was the big one. They also lost Jonnu Smith and Adam Humphries as well. Who did they replace them with? Well, at tight end, Anthony Firkser came back, but Tennessee hasn't really gotten a replacement at tight end. Firkser, I'm not quite sure that I believe in him as a number 1 tight end, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But yeah, we still have A.J. Brown at wide receiver, but to replace Corey Davis and Adam Humphries, Tennessee now has Josh Reynolds, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, Cameron Batson, Des Fitzpatrick, who they drafted from Louisville, and Racey McGrath, the receiver who had very limited, to be very nice about it, production at LSU. So, needless to say, Tennessee could use help at the receiver position. You look at Julio last year, 771 yards on 51 catches, 3 touchdowns, but he only played 9 games due to a lingering hamstring issue. But he still averaged 15 yards a catch, and he averaged 85.7 yards per game as well, even with that hamstring issue. So I still think he'd be an upgrade over what Tennessee currently has, but he's still 32 years old, and he's still heading into his 11th year in the league as well. So again, I'm not really anti-trading for Julio Jones, but it would just have to depend on what Tennessee would have to give up to get him. I saw a lot of people saying the Titans should probably give up a second next year to get him. I think that's a little too steep personally. But we'll just have to see if Tennessee even makes a move for him at this point. John Robinson, I believe, did say that Tennessee wasn't done making moves as far as the offense goes. So we'll have to see if they do end up making a trade for Julio or for somebody else. But I'm not as opposed to the Julio trade as I would be to pretty much any Aaron Rodgers trade. But with that being said, let me know in the comments section what you think of the Aaron Rodgers rumors and the Julio Jones rumors as well. What do you think Tennessee should give up for either of them, if you think they should trade them? And let's have a conversation in the comments section. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button. And if you want to see more of my opinions and more news on the Titans, as well as franchise and gaming content here on Crayniaqs Gaming, then make sure you guys hit that sub button and turn your notifications on to join the notification gang. That way, every time I upload a video, you guys will be notified. And we gonna keep this mofo rolling here on Crayniaqs Gaming. And if you want to see more from the channel, check out the playlists in front of you.